Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. What is this white stuff on my shell cordovan here? And I'll explain what that is, but before we get to that, let's take a preview of what's in the video today. I have a 100% English tan Dublin Johnny the Fox, an Amaretto shell cordovan Tony the Ant, color number 8 Chrome Excel Fat Herbie, a carbon fiber Chicago comb with an English tan Dublin leather sheath, an English tan Dublin vault key holder, color number 8 Chrome Excel vault key holder, a 100% black shell cordovan Johnny the Fox, color 8 shell cordovan Tony the Ant, an ultraviolet shell cordovan Bugs Moran with a reverse interior, intense blue shell cordovan Fat Herbie, and a natural shell cordovan Fat Herbie with a reverse interior. So take a look at this white haze. And the reason I pulled this one out today is this morning I saw a photo posted on Reddit of some shoes and different leather goods in a store in Southeast Asia, I believe, that were all molded up. And this appears to the layperson to be mold, but this is not mold at all. And I'll show you the difference from the photo that I found on the internet today. The mold that is on these shoes and other leather goods are much different than this cloudy, sort of hazy look on the shell cordovan. What this really is something that we call bloom. And what bloom is when the waxes and oils that are tanned into the leather reappear onto the surface of the leather. And this bloom starts to come back to the surface with the change in temperature. So I noticed that when the winter comes around and then summer comes back or spring comes back and things start to heat up after being really cold in the winter, this starts to appear on the surface. And you can easily remove this bit of wax by just lightly rubbing it. So let me give you a little time lapse here of me polishing this one up. So even after just a couple quick seconds of brushing this, you can see the shell is starting to look back like normal. And I could brush this a lot more. I can still see a little bit of wax going on here. But the reason that this is interesting is the leather, shell cordovan, and Chrome Excel, they were originally marketing as self-polishing leathers for this reason. It's almost like you never need to add more conditioner or polish to the leather to get this luster back. All you really need to do is brush it. And that's a really unique and special thing about most of the Horween leathers. Check out this incredible 100% English tan Dublin Johnny the Fox that is going out today. And this batch of foxes in the 100% English tan, all of them are really, really nice. I've actually been wearing one myself for the last 4 weeks or so, 5 weeks. And I've really enjoyed how this is starting to develop a nice little patina. I'm noticing on the outside, the luster is actually getting a little bit brighter, which is really interesting. I'm starting to pick up some of those scuffs and scratches. The scuffs and scratches on the Dublin are kind of similar to the bloom that I experience on the shell cordovan and on the Chrome Excel, where you can kind of just rub them back in. The Dublin is finished with a hard wax layer, so any micro abrasions or small scuffs, you can sort of just rub back in. It's like melting the wax back into the leather. And here's a beautiful Amaretto shell cordovan Tony the Ant. This Amaretto shell is my favorite shell cordovan color. It has this really interesting color shift. So some angles, it's a little bit more of a vibrant orangey tan, and other angles, it's like a medium brown with a little bit more red to it. I just find that really fascinating to sort of tilt it back and forth and look at the colors. Just look at the inside here, more Amaretto shell with that Horween ink stamp in the center. Up next, this is a really clean looking Fat Herbie in the color number 8 Chrome Excel. And this is that same color as the color 8 shell, but we've translated it over to the Chrome Excel. I wanted to show you 2 of these today because one person had picked up one with no monogramming and another had this really fun monogram on the bottom here, El Toro. Thank you so much, El Toro, for picking this one up. You got a great Fat Herbie coming your way. And we have a couple of carbon fiber combs shipping out today. And these are really special combs from Chicago Comb. The carbon fiber is very strong and very dense and rigid. This comb does not flex very much at all. So it's designed to last a long time. But what's cool about the carbon fiber is it's naturally anti-static. And I like it for that reason. We've paired these with the English tan Dublin leather sheaths. So the comb fits perfectly in there, good to travel with. I actually keep mine in a sheath at my sink all the time. And I have 2 vault key holders shipping out today. You can only get these non-shell cordovan vault key holders on our Etsy page. So if you're into these, you can check it out there. This one is English Tan Dublin. I love the English Tan Dublin. It reminds me of my favorite shell color, the Amaretto shell. It's a little darker and a little bit more brown than the Amaretto shell, but it has the same essence of that shell cordovan because the Dublin is tanned using the same tree barks as the shell cordovan. And we also have a color 8 chrome excel shipping out today. This one has been personalized for JS. Now here's another special wallet that is sending out today. This is our Johnny the Fox in black shell cordovan. And this one is special because it's 100% black shell cordovan. It's hard for us to get the naturally thin pieces of leather for the inside of the Johnny the Fox, and especially in the shell cordovan. And that's because the shell cordovan ranges in thickness naturally. Even on one piece of shell cordovan, you can see the thickness range from my boot thickness of leather, which is about 5.5 ounces of thickness, down to a leather that is thin enough for Johnny the Fox. And that's more like 2 to 3 ounces. So we're talking about half the thickness even in the shell. And those thin shells are very rare. About 2% of them are thin enough to make a wallet interior like this Johnny the Fox. So here's a rare shell cordovan color. This is the ultraviolet shell cordovan on our Bugs and Moran. And this one has a really cool interior. This is a reverse interior. And I like the ultraviolet reverse because we get all these random dye marks on the inside. On the left and right there, you get to see these little pink sort of magenta colors. I think that is really cool. Just the uniqueness and randomization on the inside of this one. And the ultraviolet on the outside. That's a nice, vibrant purple shade. It's darker than like a true magenta. It's somewhere in between the color 8 shell and the magenta shell. It's just a nice, vibrant purple shade. Here's a Tony the Ant in the classic color 8 shell cordovan. Take a look at how sweet that shell is. This is a really nice piece of color 8 shell. That dark brown burgundy shade, classic cordovan color. A lot of people, when they think of the cordovan leather, they think of this color. Again, it's a little bit more dark at certain angles, a little bit more red and cherry at other angles. So it's got a nice depth of color, a little color shift going on in the color 8 shell. And this one might be my stunner for the day. This is intense blue shell cordovan on our Fat Herbie. And I love the intense blue because it has, again, a bit of a color shift to it. Certain angles on this intense blue shell, it's a little bit more aqua, a little bit more of a light blue, a little bit of green in it. And other angles, it sort of translates itself as a navy shade. And the combination of those two just have a really nice depth of color on the intense blue shell. And the last wallet to show you today, this one also is a stunner. And I can't tell if I'm biased just because it's in a Fat Herbie, but regardless of what wallet style it is, this natural shell is incredible. And on something like the Fat Herbie, where you get this very large context, a large amount of shell on the outside here, there's just something magical about seeing a big pattern piece on something like the Fat Herbie in the shell cordovan. So this one's my stunner for the day as well. We're going to double stunner on the inside. Check this out. We have the reverse interior. So this is the natural reverse. It's a little bit lighter than the color 8 shell with that Horween ink stamp in the center. This is a really, really cool Fat Herbie here. A few people have picked these up, and I can't wait for you to have them. It'll develop a really nice patina. So the more you wear this one, the better it's going to get. So let me know what your stunner was for the day. Maybe you learned a little bit about bloom with this vertical card slot thing. What I'll do is I'll polish this up for real and do a little before and after photo for the thumbnail of the video. And I'll post the photos of all these wallets and the before and after on the bloom on our Facebook page. So thanks for checking it out. I'll see you again later.